Last season, in a strange turn of events, the Philadelphia Flyers pulled their goalie for an extra skater, with the game tied against the Washington Capitals in the regular season finale. The move didn't work as Washington scored an empty net goal, clinching a playoff spot. The Flyers, along with the Detroit Red Wings and Pittsburgh Penguins, were eliminated as a result. Why did this happen? It was all about tiebreakers. The Flyers needed a regulation win to tie the Capitals on the first 4 tiebreakers, and then win on goal differential. Fast forward to this week, the Columbus Blue Jackets are in a similar position. They need a regulation win to stay in the playoff race. Here's how the NHL's tiebreaker system works, and what it means for the teams still vying for postseason spots. If 2 teams finish the regular season tied in points, the tiebreakers kick in, starting with regulation wins. If that's still tied, regulation and overtime wins are considered, followed by total wins, head-to-head competition, goal differential, and total goals scored. In the Eastern Conference wild-card race, the Montreal Canadiens and Columbus Blue Jackets are fighting for a playoff spot. If Columbus wins their remaining games in regulation and Montreal loses in regulation, both teams would have 89 points. However, Montreal leads in regulation wins, and Columbus would need to win both games in regulation to edge out Montreal. Out west, the race is tight between the Minnesota Wild, St. Louis Blues, and Calgary Flames for the first 2 wildcard spots. Minnesota and St. Louis each have 1 game left, while Calgary has 2. If Calgary wins out, they could tie Minnesota in points, but the Wild would win the tiebreaker with more regulation wins. Calgary's best hope is to win their final games and hope Minnesota or St. Louis slip up. The Atlantic Division race also remains competitive, with the Toronto Maple Leafs leading the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning's best shot at the division title is to win their remaining games in regulation, while hoping the Maple Leafs lose in regulation. If they end up tied in points, the Lightning could clinch the division based on regulation wins. As the season wraps up, these tiebreakers will be crucial in determining who makes the playoffs and who is left out. Every point matters as teams scramble for their spot in the postseason.